Here at the hotel, just got done racing Mama Knows Best. I'm a lovely lady and well and down. Did not race my jazz. Now, part of the reason I wanted to make this video on a Saturday, which I'm usually doing my videos on a Saturday, part of the reason I wanted to do this video today, I had an email from somebody asking what happened with my jazz. Had a text message from somebody also saying what happened with my jazz. I just assume everybody watches our videos. And as I try to explain this to people, I'm doing it in a video, which they wouldn't have watched. We have clients that either don't want to listen to me ramble on, or don't know how to use YouTube, or don't click on the videos. They just, they're just going through their daily life. I can't blame them for that. Can't blame them for that at all. I did send a note out earlier after I got the text message from somebody about my jazz. But at the end of the day, the reality is simple. It was as cut and dry as can be. Philly wasn't 100%, so she wasn't going to race. She had a pus pocket that festered. It blew out. And then a second one was harboring also in there, and it blew out. The second one was the kicker. The timeline for that second one, we just couldn't get her sounded up. She'll probably be sound by Tuesday or Wednesday, which means we'll train her up slow next Saturday, school her, probably just qualify her the Thursday after that, and then get back down to racing, right? We'll have 2 or 3 races into her before her next Sire Stake event or Buckeye, whatever we choose to race her in. She'll let us know, and that will be fine. Now, as far as my jazz, I was very happy with her yesterday, happy with what I saw. We'll continue to work on her. As I said, she'll be back in the swing of things in no time. Will to win Hanover. Somebody had also asked me, hey, Anthony, you said something about Will to win Hanover. What happened? They told me she was off a little bit right front. We pulled the shoe off, started poulticing her foot up. It's more than likely a pus pocket, but in the event that it could be, this is horse racing, in the event that it could be something more, I wanted to pump the brakes on jogging her training. She certainly did not train today or jog today. If she sounds up first of the week, no problem, especially if something blows out of that corner of her foot, which also could likely happen. And if it doesn't, then we'll have to look a little closer with the x-ray. Again, it takes about 10 to 14 days. We'd like to wait the full 14-day period so that you get a real good look. Sometimes what happens is when they x-ray a bone, you may have injured yourself and gone to the hospital and there was inconclusive x-rays. Then you went back 4, 5, 6 days later and looked, and there was a little line. So certainly not what we want to hear, but again, fingers crossed, we're hoping that it's the same thing with my jazz. This happens all the time. It isn't the first time, but it has to be treated very seriously. Horse comes up sore, need to know why conclusively. And if there hasn't been anything blow out of the foot yet, and it looks like there likely will be, great. Show me the money. Show me the pus. We want to try and blow something out. So what you'll do is we'll get medicated poultice. So it's in a pad called Animal Intex usually, or a generic version of that. We'll tub the horse in hot water. Then for about half an hour, if they'll stand in, as long as they want to stand in it, then you'll put this pad on the inside, on that corner, that where you suspect that will blow out. We'll usually add a little DMSO to the top of that, put it on, wrap it up with saran wrap, vet wrap, and a polo, whatever, and then rinse and repeat until you get something. So that would stay on overnight. Same thing, come out tomorrow in the tub, wrap it up. So that's where we're at with Will to win and my jazz. I guess the explanations for those people that don't watch the videos, it doesn't really help to do a video about it, but that's what is and went on with those 2 horses. Now, the horses we did race today, Bramer I thought was a little flat. Mark drove him like a little bit of a girl too. Somehow the 7 horse snuck over in behind him, and I don't know what went on there, but ended up getting away 5th, finishing 5th, pace 53-3, 27-3 on the end of it. Mathematically an okay mile, but certainly what didn't wow me. And that's just how tough the Stallion Series are. That's how tough the staking program in Pennsylvania is. You can have a horse that paces in 53 and looks average. So we'll find a spot for him, whether it be at the Meadows or Northfield or wherever. Moving forward, that might be a perfect horse to send to a place like Massachusetts. I still have it in my mind. We've put away moving the Ontario horses to Massachusetts because of the timeline has been moved up from Ontario. Looks like they're back training on the 6th. Give them another 14 days. I suspect around the 20th we'll be back racing in Ontario. My hope is that. But our family is going to stay here. In Ohio with our Ohio burn this year. It was important for me to get my kids out. I had such a good day today. I'd snapped a picture of Addie just eating fries or something, and this is this is what keeps me glued together, right? This is what keeps me grounded between the stress and the chaos of moving over here. We had to take caretakers with us and put them up in hotels for a week while we found them accommodations because there is no workers over here. And I found it so weird. And then right down the street, remember I told you guys last week the Starbucks didn't open until 3:30 in the afternoon? And it was funny at the time and a little annoying. The reason is they can't find anybody to work in the morning. A place like Starbucks. Can't find anybody to work in the morning. So they finally got somebody to work, or 2 people to work in the morning at Starbucks. But I see places all the time, hiring. Drop off your resume. I don't understand it, but it's a real problem down here. I talked to Jason Brewer. His horse is right here in the Miami Valley area, somewhere around here, out in the woods somewhere. And he said, I could have more horses, but I just cannot find help. So we're very lucky that our caretakers came with us. A lot of those young kids. I was a kid like that once and moved away from home when I was young. Those 2 Shelby girls are 18, 19, 20. Brody's 19. Bailey's coming over here with her boyfriend, 18 or 19 years old, coming over here to work for us. Had to put them up in a hotel and get them squared away. And that leads into the next thing. Obviously, there's more horses in the States with us over here. I don't want to be charging people for my accommodations if I'm living here, but to come down here to stay in a hotel, put those kids up, have the horses. It's typical summer stuff, but it isn't the summer yet, so it's a little bit different. I said the easiest way to do it for Wendy is quite simple. Just take the bills of getting set up, the extra bills of getting set up and getting our caretakers over here and put in place, and spread it over the 40 or 50 horses that are here. I mean, you're talking about dollars. So I think that's only stands to reason. And that's part of obviously part of this email is meant for that, as the bills will go out sometime Sunday or Monday. Again, Amy and I put out a lot of money to move over here, right? Move the kids over here, and to put Addie in daycare, and I can't pass a cost like that on to our clients, but at the same time, when it comes to racing related costs, they're going to be associated with the stable. So I think that goes without saying, but obviously I hate not having total transparency when it comes to everything we're doing. So I want to make sure that we're upfront and telling everybody, obviously it wasn't easy. The easiest part, even as difficult as it was, the easiest part to come over here was to get in the cars and actually come. Having the horses shipped over here, having them stabled over here, and the attributed costs that come with that. It's not easy. So I think that goes without saying, but at the same time, it can't go without saying. It has to be said. So, talked about Jazz, talked about Will to Win, talked about the horse, didn't talk about the horses today. So, I'm a Lovely Lady today, raced fantastic. Busted her over to the front. I walked them over to the half. I really thought she could sprint home, but it was a fairly nasty headwind. I didn't realize how good Aaron's horse was until after I got a real good close look at the program. Yeah, I drifted over, and I could have shut him off, I suppose, but as I put her in gear, that last step when I hit her a snap, I really thought he couldn't out-trot me. We weren't walking. It might have been 28 apiece, but look at the whole quarters, all the quarters of the day. There was a big headwind the whole way down the lane, and it wasn't a cakewalk. Like, if we come, I don't know what we came, 28 apiece, 29? I guarantee you it was 27 apiece on a normal hot day with no wind. She was working as hard as she could. She got beat fair and square. I thought I'm a Lovely Lady raced fantastic. I thought she raced great. Sure, I was kicking myself. Anytime I get beat in the inside, it drives me crazy. And it annoyed me. But I guess it evened out later on because I greased Aaron to get out of the hole with Mama Knows Best. So before we get to Mama, I'm a Lovely Lady. I thought great. As I said to everybody, still a little light, still a little rough around the edges as we get some racing into this filly and get her spirits up. I think she's going to be a good filly again for us this year. As it goes to Mama Knows Best, everybody was worried. Is she going to trot? The filly seemed fine to me. In the qualifiers, she seemed great. Today, she seemed great. I was very, very happy with her. Did everything right. I'm thinking I could have won a number of different ways. In fact, of all the ways I could have raced her, it appeared in hindsight, that was one of the only ways I could have lost, was to dump her in the 2-hole behind the even money favorite. If I had moved her out of the 2-hole, if I had parked him, if I had removed to the front, if I had squeezed out down the backstretch underneath Mr. Deaton, because I could have greased him and got out right there. I just didn't, right? I tried to be a little safer with Mama. I said to myself, yeah, if Chris Page clears, I'm in trouble, but I'll get out around the last turn, or I'll get out somewhere. Anytime, if we're not going to be on the front with Mama, following the even money favorite might be a good place to start. Let him go, and that horse just wasn't good. Of Brett's, just didn't race well today. I had to kind of grease my way out in the last turn. Aaron was in the 2-wide path, and I could see the kid in behind me trying to stick his feet up like he was trying to get a head start on me. That's not going to happen. So I shoved him over, and I shut him off. And as I shut him off, I started out of the hole, and I saw Aaron look left. I'm like, listen, you were going to be out there anyway. If you short memory, you don't remember race 2. So I kind of shoved him over, and he kept coming. And then the 3-horse kind of, when I was going to go to the inside, and he kind of went out a little bit, boom, I shot through. Now, Mama, on the end of a mile, she's not going to sprint through the wire. It's only her, 3rd start this year, and the first 2 she made breaks. Qualifiers aren't races. This was her first honest-to-goodness fast mile in a race. And she only shook loose the last 8th, in a headwind. Those 2 horses had the jump on me. Aaron had the momentum coming out of the turn. Chris had the front coming out of the turn. I had to come to both of them. I thought she raced well, shot through, beat half a length? She raced fantastic. And the biggest heartbreak of the day, obviously, was Well and Down. That's not that filly's fault. I'm looking left. I know the 8-horse can leave like a scared dog, right? The horses inside of me can leave as much as Well and Down, so there's no point leaving. I drop her over. I'm get away, 9th? 10th? At the 10th on a 5/8 mile track at the quarter. But I sit in the 2-wide path. I don't want to go down to the rail. But the 5 and the 9 are the 2 horses to beat, and they're right in front of me. The only horse in between them is Aaron, and he's parked. So now I'm behind the favorite, the second favorite, Aaron Merriman, me. Around the last turn, we're all jammed up. I'm like, wow, I couldn't win with Seabiscuit from here. I start her up 3 wide, checked 4 wide in the last turn. The poor filly, as soon as the wind hit her, it was lights out. She's beat 4 or 5 lengths and 54 and 1 out the whole mile, 3-4 wide around the last turn. She raced her heart out. She raced as good as she could. Just chalked that up to a shitty trip. She got a tough trip, and I absolutely no fault of her own. And usually I have no problem blaming myself for things. I didn't do anything wrong either. I couldn't leave faster than a number of horses inside of me. I guess I could have driven her like a 30-1 shot and ran her up the inside and try to hope that something worked out, but it's not going to at that track. I might have scabbed a 5 or something maybe, but Well and Down, I gave her a shot to win, and just from an impossible position. We draw 2, 3, 4 at Scioto in with those same bunch of horses. It's a different story. I was happy with Well and Down. I wasn't unhappy. That's a tough mile for that filly, and I thought she raced pretty good. I'm a Lovely Lady raced fantastic, and Mama Knows Best raced great. I was tickled pink with everybody today. I felt bad for the owners of Well and Down, but you guys know, I want to go back and watch the race. I watched it twice already since it was over. There's just nowhere to go, nothing to do. Just a shitty draw that ended up with a shitty finish. That's the way it was. So overall, today is a great day. Today I really got to take a look at, what is important to me, which is my family, being able to act normally in a normal setting. Felt great. Again, thank you, Ohio. Hopefully for Ontario, for our owners, for our horses, for our trainers, I hope Ontario gets back racing very, very soon. It looks like we're on the right path, so I hope we will. For our 2-year-olds training down, we have 21 of them here now. These 21 will remain here. A couple of the Ohio breds will come back over. If I'm very happy with 3 Point Blue Chip, he can head back to Ontario. I don't think anybody that owns a piece of 3 Point Blue Chip is going to say, well, that was a wasted trip. No. We have a lot of responsibility when it comes to this horse and every horse. But, I'm the captain of this ship, and if he's going to be if he's supposed to be one of our best horses, especially a horse with a lot of high hopes on him, then I wanted him here. Will to Win Hanover was coming here also, but with her foot like that, I didn't want to ship her, and I don't want to screw around with her, regardless of what it is, plus pocket or otherwise. I want to do what's best for her. So that's where we're at with everybody. I want to make sure that everybody understood. I could have done this in my opening, but you wouldn't have saw it till Monday. I wanted to make sure you got it today. Happy with what went on in Miami Valley today. A little disappointed with Braemar and the Meadows. I expect more from that colt. And then tonight we got Gray as the New Red is out, 7-hole. I wouldn't buy some popcorn. We're going to try and snag a check with the Gray filly, see what we can do. Camco Lizzie is scratched. She had an entrapment. We had that with a couple of horses in the last month. Just the vet has to go in and just trim that up. So that necessitates a scratch and a week off. So she'll be back at it likely next week, I guess. Then we have one more. What about Brave World last night? My God almighty, out of the 8-hole on a half-mile track, a flat half-mile track. Some of you, whoever's out there from Michigan or one of the analytics guys, how many times do you win out of the 8-hole at Northville or track like that? Not very often. That was a big mile from that horse. Guy drove him good. Great mile from Brave World last night. I know I'm always forgetting people, and I'm sorry. There's one other horse racing tonight. Cyrus Blue Chips racing tonight at Vernon Downs. So good luck to the Cyrus group. So that is it. That is what took place on Saturday. That is your Saturday update. And if you don't like updates, then unsubscribe to the stable, because you're going to get a whole summer of updates from me and our family. We'll talk to you guys soon. I hope everything is going well. It is a sunny day today. It turned out to be a beautiful day. I hope it's beautiful wherever you are. Take care. I'll give you all the weekend videos starting tomorrow. I'm not going to do them today. I'm going to do them tomorrow on my way home from Miami Valley. Take care.